poor study techniques that kills results. Poor study techniques that kills results. So the definition of study techniques, I'm talking on poor study techniques. So here is the definition of study techniques. They are series of strategies, procedures, or methods which are put into practice to acquire learning, helping to facilitate the memorization and study process to improve academic performance. So in short, study techniques, they are just your strategies or any methods that you use or you practice in order to acquire a better academic performance. So maybe some people's method or strategies can be okay. Um, some people like studying in a very silent environment, while some they can be listening to music and they are still doing very fine. So that is what we mean by different strategies at which we can use to improve our academic performance. So I want us to know that it is essential to know that there is no single or miraculous study strategies. So it is very important that you discover the method that works well for you. It is very, very important to discover the methods that works well for you. That your friend is studying um, in a lousy environment, and then you're now trying to compare yourself with the person. So that will be very wrong. It is very, very important for you to know the method that works better for you. Different techniques. I met Olayemi discussing on something related to this. So these are the different techniques. I had earlier said that we have different techniques, but we just need to know the one that works for us. There's no miracle, and there is no a particular strategies that work for all. You just need to discover yourself, then know the ones that work with you. So these are just some techniques that you can work with. And the first one is the SQ 3R study techniques. So the S stands for survey. It's just like you have your notes. Let me use this slide as an example now. Okay, the first slide, it was the definition of study techniques. So this skimming is just you going through the slides. Then you take note of the headings. Okay, the first headings was on the definition, then this second is different study techniques. So you just go through this the headings, check the pictures that are involved. It's just to get yourself engaged, just giving yourself a clue of what is about to happen. So, and after that, you move to questioning yourself that okay, this topic is saying study technique. Okay, what are they trying to like say? Okay, what is even this study technique self? It's just like you trying to question yourself that okay, well, okay, what is this? What is that? The question will now motivate you to read. So after questioning yourself, then you start your reading. So after you have read, Jacob, I'm hearing your voice. Please unmute. So after you have read your note, then you decide to start saying it out. Now okay, study techniques is doing is there are different strategies of doing this. The moment you start relating with it, you are saying it out. It has a way of sticking to you. So it has a way of sticking to you. I do that a lot of times. When I'm reading, I just read it out. Okay, explain it to myself. Oh. So this is it. Okay, chemistry is the composition of this and that. By doing that, I'm actually helping my brain to retain what I've read. So after that, you review, you go back, you ask yourself questions. You ask yourself the questions, okay, have I gotten it? Okay, what is study techniques? Then the moment you can actually recite it again, so you are trying to review everything that you have read. So, and then after that is the retrieval practice. This is very, very important. After you have read, then you need to retrieve it. It might not even be that same day. Maybe you read something today, and then tomorrow you just remind yourself that okay, what is chemistry? Oh, then the moment you try to remind yourself and you discover that you've forgotten, it's very advisable for you to go back to the notes, because by doing that you just discover that you will remember everything that you have been reading. So also the spaced practice. I the example I used was like, okay, tomorrow. Okay, this spaced practice is just saying that after I have read today, okay, maybe on Wednesday I can now sit down again. Those questions that I have asked myself during the review in this SQ3R, okay, I can now start asking myself those questions again. I've given it a time frame. I now want to confirm if I still understand what I've read earlier. So you go back to your notes. Okay, ask yourself the question again. Okay, what is study techniques? Then you go back to it without checking the notes. You are revising. You are just revising what you have read earlier. You are repeating the questions that you have asked yourself before. So that is the spaced practice. And then I met Olayemi explaining this Feynman technique. So in summary, it's just one of the more effective study techniques of learning a concept by explaining it to yourself in a plain and simple term. I love doing this a lot because there are some notes that are just so bogus. They are just full of English that you might not even easily remember. So you just break it down to your own language. You break it. When I was divining the study strategies, you could see that the definition is just long. But then I can just summarize it by saying, okay, without even checking the note, I can summarize it by saying study techniques, they are just different strategies you used or you practice in order for you to get a better academic performance. So you can just summarize it in your own language. So that doesn't mean what they have taught you in class you are neglecting it. No, it's just for you to easily remember what you have been taught. Also, watching videos on YouTube. Watching videos on YouTube helps you a lot. You are getting the visual part of everything you are reading. You easily remember everything you have read. So the poor study habits that you should avoid studying without having a goal. Okay, this is the subject you want to read. It's chemistry. No, even before starting your reading, have your goal. Okay, what do I want to score in this subject? Is it 70? Is it 80? Have it at the back of your mind that, okay, for me to score this particular thing, then you work towards it. You start your plans. How do I achieve these goals that I have set? That, okay, in biology, I want to score 75. So you start planning, you work towards it. So studying without planning is a very poor study habit. And then next is using other people's strategy to study. That, okay, your friend studies at midnight, then you are now thinking that, okay, me too, let me do it because this my friend, she's a scholar, so let me just try to copy his or her method. So also piling up notes until exam period. This is a very bad study habit. Please avoid it. And cramming instead of understanding. By the time you read, watch YouTube, meet people that understand it better, it will help you. Please avoid cramming. Also multitasking. You are reading, you are chatting, you are watching video, you are listening to music. No, it will not help your study. So, and also passive learning. Reading without engagement is also a very poor habit. How to build a personal study system. So, number one thing you need to know is know yourself. You are not your friend, you are you. So just know yourself. that's what I do. I know myself. I know that, before I understand something, I need a lot of time. So I don't compare myself with anybody. So just know yourself. Know what works for you. Some people prefer reading in the morning, some in the afternoon. Know yourself. Know what works for you. Also, learn to set a smart goal. It is very, very important. So set a smart goal. Also create a study schedule. Have your personal timetable. Apart from what you have, your normal timetable in school. So it is advisable for you to have your own personal timetable. Even if it is one subject that you want to be studying by in a day, after reading what you are being taught in class, please, it is very, very advisable. Also, use active learning techniques. So practice past question before exam. It's not like, okay, a week before exam you now start doing all of this. Most schools, they are after the past questions. The moment you just know everything in that past question, forget about clinical. So read your notes, then treat your past questions, learn from friends that know better than you do, and always always read after class, before the end of the day. So this will help you a lot, because everything that you are being taught that day is still very fresh. So just remind yourself everything that you are taught that day, then track your progress. Okay, check. mm, Maybe it will be a weekly review now. Just track your progress. Okay, how am I doing? Okay, how is it going? Maybe your first test you check, or even before the first test. So you just track your progress. You are doing well. So avoid distraction. Olaimi mentioned distraction list is very important. So please avoid distractions while reading. Then make sure you rest. Rest is not, we know that everybody wants to do well. Don't kill yourself because you want to you want to have a good grade in a particular subject. Rest, but while resting, do the needful. After resting, go back to the necessary things you ought to do. Go back to reading. So thank you. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you all.